Hello, everyone. I'm Willow Bay, Dean of the USC Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. Welcome to our celebration of this amazing class of 2021. So, my very special class of 21, here's the truth. I say this to all our graduating classes, but at no time has very special meant as much as it does this year. So when you hear me say this again next week at the Coliseum, it'll be our little inside joke. Today, we are going to spend the next hour celebrating you and all that you have accomplished. You will see some familiar places and familiar faces, and we have some special guests to celebrate with you. Now, I know we're honoring you, our graduates, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge the people who have shared this journey with you and have supported you along the way. Your families, parents, grandparents, sisters and brothers, spouses and partners, friends and classmates. Bravo to all of you. I am filled with so much pride and so much joy today, and I know our amazing faculty and staff feel just the same way. And I hope you all feel that wherever you're joining us from. It's a pride that comes from knowing just how much you have achieved here. So my very special class of 21, you made it. You accomplished what you set out to, earning your degrees, and you were handed an extra challenge on the journey. Let's be clear, more than one challenge. Well, we can't control the challenges we're presented with in life. Fate and history determine those. But we can control how we respond to those challenges. And you have certainly met this one with grit and determination, with creativity, with compassion, and yes, with a sense of humor. Your class will always share this special bond. You're graduating at an unprecedented moment in history. The fields you have chosen to study, communication, public relations, journalism, and public diplomacy, always vitally important, have never been more so. And your generation shares a special trait, and it's reinforced in my mind one of the things that makes you all so unique. You expect the world to be a place that's more fair and more just, and you are armed with the knowledge, the critical eye, and determination to make it so. And we need you to help get us all to a better place. And as much as we've enjoyed this phase of your journeys, the Annenberg phase, we are so excited to see where this road takes you from here. And now I'd like to introduce a very special guest, Emmy-winning television journalist Gayle King. Gayle is the co-host of one of the most watched news shows on television, CBS This Morning. She has conducted revealing and news-making interviews with world leaders, political figures, and celebrities. She is a journalist of enormous distinction who has worked across platforms, magazines, radio, television, adding skills and expertise, connecting with audiences in meaningful ways. Gayle, your career has provided you with such a powerful sense of meaning, of purpose, and the intellectual energy that comes from continual challenges. And that was before the 15 months that we just had.
No.
You know, our students have gone through this extraordinary experience too. And as you know, we're celebrating a milestone today, the completion of their Annenberg degrees. So I thought it might be great for them to hear your perspective and all that you've experienced over your career and over the past year. So welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dean Bay. I'm so glad to be here. I just have to say this. I'm so excited for your students today because, listen, you just look at what you've been through, and I keep thinking everybody's going next chapter, next chapter. I just want to say, welcome, come on in, the water's fine. I think that they're coming out at a really great time because everything, it seems, is starting to lift. I hope that is true. I really do. I'm still, I'm coming to you from the living room of my home in New York City. Otherwise, I would have been there in person. Somebody told me a word, and I think this is a good one. Dean Bay, it's a combination of scared and excited, skited. That's how I'm feeling. I'm skited for them. And I look at the time that they're coming in, what they get to do. I think it's a very exciting time.
You know, one of the things that I have found so remarkable about you is the joy that you get from your career and the excitement that you get, every day. I wonder if you could share a little bit of that with our students.
I still love what I do so much. Number one, I will tell your students they will never, ever be bored. I guarantee you, I promise you that you will never be bored. I look at a week I had recently. I was doing a 4-hour taping with Sesame Street with the characters, a big gala that's coming up. They asked me to host that. I'd done an interview with Michelle Obama, our former First Lady, about a new project that she's working on. And I covered the Derek Chauvin trial where the verdict came in. And that was just all in 1 week's time. I mean, just think about that for a second. You're never bored. And I also say this, I say, be fearless, be fearless. Don't take no for an answer for something that you really believe in. And when I say that, we all get no's, but I'm talking about something you really believe in that you know that you can do. I also believe eventually every no turns into a yes. Every no for a good idea turns into a yes. Important to set boundaries, and I think it's important to have balance in your life. As great as this career is, you have to set balance in your life.
Balance and boundaries. How do you do that, Gayle?
Well, it's hard when you're first starting out, because when you're first starting out, you're going to get the crappy schedule. You're going to get the long hours. As you progress in your career, and even in the beginning, I think it's important to set boundaries, to say, as much as we love our jobs, and I do, your job isn't hugging you at night. Your job isn't comforting you at night. Your job isn't feeding you. So while it's important to love your job, I think it's also important to give time and spend time with the people you care about and who care about you. A piece of advice, never turn down something or not do something because you're too tired. Never pass up a great opportunity because you're too tired. You will be able to sleep later, especially when you're starting out.
So, Gayle, one of the things that we know about you is that you have perfected the art of the interview. In an article in Time Magazine, you once said, I believe you can ask any question, even a very difficult question. You just have to have the right time and the right setting. Well, I think we just have the perfect time and setting to have you come pose a few questions to our class of 2021. Want to try some?
Yeah, I would. So my first question, class of 2021, I'm bowing down to you. I think in this time of COVID, it took extraordinary guts. I think it took a lot of ingenuity. And so I want to know what or who inspired you? How did you navigate that time of your life? And what will you remember most? Go.
Thanks, Ms. King. What really inspired me was a dream that I had when I was very young to attend USC. I think now that I'm able to say that I'm graduating from there is a big accomplishment and kind of making true on a promise that I made to myself. What I'll remember most about my time at USC is persevering through all the challenges that last year threw at us. And also during my time on campus, the LA sunsets.
Phoebe Bridgers definitely inspired me, both as a musician and a listener. She released an amazing album called Punisher, and that's hard to do during normal times, let alone during COVID. And one of the things that I'll remember the most about this time is gathering around with my housemates and listening to music. And Phoebe Bridgers is one of the artists that we would always listen to.
Thank you, Ms. King. I was inspired by the thousands of journalists of color all over the world who, despite having to deal with their own personal traumas and feelings over the past year, still managed to publish some great work. I'm in absolute awe of our field, and I look forward to joining this elite group of storytellers. 10 years from now, when someone asks me about this time in my life, I'm going to remember George Floyd and how his death opened the eyes of so many people to the realities of Black people in America.
Thanks, Ms. King. I think I was most inspired by a class that encouraged me to think as a leader and to embrace upcoming challenges as opportunities. And I will most remember the faculty who showed genuine compassion by personally reaching out to me and my peers during difficult times. And that extra support made all the difference.
Thank you, Ms. King, for your question. I'm a scholar, so in the past, I didn't really promote my intellectual work on social media. But in the past 1 year, I was inspired to use an innovative way to promote my intellectual work on social media. And what I remember the most in the past 1 year is the value of humanity and the importance of community. And I really get that from the Annenberg community.
Thank you, Ms. King. I think for me, what has been the most inspiring this past year has been really being able to grow my own business, especially as a Black baker and a first-generation college student. I think that's just being an inspiration to other people has been the best part for me. And I think what has been the most memorable is the amount of support I've gotten this past year throughout the USC community and the Black community. It's priceless.
I've got another question. I think that journalists and storytellers are needed now more than ever before. Truth tellers too. Could we have some truth these days in journalism and storytelling? And you know exactly what I mean. What is a story that you most want to tell? Your turn.
The kind of stories that I'm going to keep doing will be focused on the intersectionality of various communities. I'm really focused on marginalized people who are going to be persevering past the pandemic and looking at a new world that is going to be ready for them due to the changes and the progress that has been made since the racial uprisings.
So 2020 has been those unprecedented times, which I really hope all of us see only once in a lifetime. But I don't want to talk about the hardships that we dealt with it, but the stories of encouragement and growth, the stories of the last recipe that you learned, or the TikTok dance that you participated with your friends. I want to talk about stories that made you smile.
I like to tell a story about resilience and tenacity, despite all odds stacked against them. Even in a time that feels like there's no hope, people persist.
The story I like to tell is one that speaks truth and one that works towards social progress to build a more equitable future.
Thank you, Ms. King, for speaking with us today. For me, during my time at USC, we've learned about the importance of corporate social responsibility. And as I enter my career into PR, I really hope I get the chance to communicate brand stories and their efforts in CSR and how they're trying to make the world a better place.
You know, I've grown up being a huge fan of the Marvel Universe. I even have it on my mug. And I've had the privilege of seeing superheroes look like me on the big screen for over 20 years. One big initiative that I want to push is even further representation for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And groups who haven't seen superheroes look like them on the big screen have that same opportunity.
My last question, guys, is my favorite question, class of 2021, because this is what I heard about you all, that not only are you smart, but you also have a great sense of humor. So let's have fun with this one. You know, one of my favorite questions to ask people is, what is a song that you think most describes you, that captures the essence of you? I'll go first. Mine is I'm Walking on Sunshine. Every time I hear that song, it makes me very happy. So what is the song that you think most describes you? And feel free to sing a lyric or two.
Thank you, Ms. King. I would say a song that best describes me is Happy by Pharrell, because I love to smile and I think happiness is the key. Just like the lyrics, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
So the song I feel that best describes me is Bendiciones by Bad Bunny. In the beginning of the song, he goes, Estoy aquí porque Dios tuvo planes conmigo, which means I am here because God had plans for me. I really feel that this song means validating, empowering people in their spaces and recognizing your privilege at being like a place like USC.
A song that best describes me is Live Your Life by T.I. and Rihanna. And the song is about how you should live in the moment and work super hard so you can enjoy life. And one of the lyrics I really like is, because everyone knows just who you are, so live your life. I feel like I really embody that. I work hard every single day, so I have no regrets in the future.
I'm going to have to say Best Day Ever by Mac Miller. Similar to him in the song, I'm constantly just on the pursuit of happiness, trying to make each day a little bit better. And I'm constantly on that search for the best day ever. And like the lyrics, like no matter where life takes me, find me with a smile, pursue to be happy, always laugh like a child. Life couldn't get better. This is going to be the best day ever. Great song.
I chose Don't Stop Believin' by Journey because for me, the song is about encouragement and about taking chances, about taking risks. And the lyrics the first lyrics are, she's a small town girl living in a lonely world. And then it goes on to, she took the midnight train going anywhere. And that's kind of what I did, because I grew up in Austria in a very small town. And I somehow ended up here at USC Annenberg, graduating from one of the best communication schools in the world. So, yeah.
It's called Your Destiny by Kevin Levere. And it goes like this. This is not a time to get distracted. This is not a time to go off course. This is not a time to lose your focus. Got a work to do for the Lord. So guys, stay focused. This is not the time to lose it.
Gayle, thank you. And our students were great, and they can carry a tune. Who knew? All of that provide a perfect transition to our next special guest. Now, as you know, USC Annenberg sits at the global crossroads of media, technology, creativity, and culture. And we thought, what better person to celebrate that and bring it to life in new and exciting ways than Grammy-winning musician, DJ, entrepreneur, and all-around culture guru, Questlove Thompson. Not only is Questlove the celebrated drummer for the pioneering hip-hop group The Roots, now seen every night on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, but he has become his own creative industry. He's at the helm of radio shows, directing acclaimed documentaries, co-head of his own production company, 215, a series of books on music and food, including his latest, Music is History, out this fall, even a masterclass on music curation and DJing. Questlove, we are so excited to have you joining us. If there is anyone who can provide us the inspiration and soundtrack for our class of 2021, it's you. Take it away, my friend.
Wow. I'm sorry, I brought my own echo effects, Willow. Wow. No, that was incredible. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get started. This is a Questlove Revolution Short Shot. Hello there. People, parents, family members, staff, alumni, and most importantly, graduates. My name is Questlove. When I was first approached about speaking today, I kind of scoffed at the notion because, why would anyone younger than my first Grammy want to hear from a representative of a generation who failed them? And so I wanted to say some things, but I didn't want it to fall on deaf ears. So I want you guys to learn things that took me 5 decades to get right. Do I have your attention? I hope so. Okay, let's start with who I am. I introduced myself as Questlove at the beginning. Some of you people might know me as a drummer, as a band leader, as an author, filmmaker, paragraph blogger on Instagram, whatever. You know me mainly by my work, but I wasn't always Questlove. I started out as Amir Thompson, and that's the name I got from birth. And over the time, I developed this moniker, this other name, Questlove, and it's not just a stage name. It's a direction. Yeah, it's a direction, and it's a direction that I gave myself to follow. It's a way of asking questions, but that's not what I'm going to do today. Why? Good question. What is the point? So let's start with what's the point? And a small question about a big idea. And I know it sounds cliche to ask, what's the point of life? But I could tell you all the things that aren't the point. Definitely wealth. Take it from someone that has ran up that endless mountain chasing what they thought was fulfillment, So wealth is not the point of life. Status is also not the point. And most importantly, the approval of others. But I will give you idea and insight on what I think is the point. And I think the point is high. It's finding a higher purpose. It's finding a higher purpose in life. And by that, I mean, whatever it is that takes you past the boundary of your own fear. And, you know, fear is always the boundary or the velvet rope that we sort of use to limit what we can do in life. So I want you to think about fear and also about curiosity, because they kind of go hand in hand. And to think about using your curiosity to push past fear. Why? Because you need to reinvent the world. This is the new Roaring 20s. This happened in 1920. This happened in 1820, in 1720. It's almost like the 20s define what the century is about to be about. And I know I say it casually, like it's up to you guys to reinvent the world, but it's not a fun project to think about. You know, it's almost a burden, but it is your responsibility. And I know here at USC, like the clout of going to, I'll call it a legacy school. You know, I don't know what that means in 2021. You know, if you're not up for building a new world, like why even go to a school like this if you're not interested in building the world? The standard status quo that has gotten us where we are today is damn near, it's pretty much going to be ancient. Everything, even I'm going to be ancient. I'm probably ancient now to you. And this is frightening, and it's a beautiful time also to take the wheel, you know. Look at the guys before you, millennials who came before you. You know, unfortunately, again, they took their advice from, you know, my generation, and we told them to chase money without any spiritual fulfillment. I was one of those people also that chased, man. I know the irony is not lost on me that I'm here in my plush, cozy penthouse, 73rd floor, Manhattan surroundings. But, you know, it's chasing money is nothing without spiritual fulfillment. And the billionaires that we idolized, you know, the winners from all those decades, from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s till now, they kind of led us down a rabbit hole of diminished returns. Of all of them, I can name maybe two that probably even dared to introduce the conversation of spiritual fulfillment as a key to happiness. And it is, you know, I don't mean traditional spirituality. I'm not talking about religion or whatnot. I mean something that's wider and deeper. Community. Community is important. And connection. So whatever you do in the world, you know, has to in some ways be for the world. Boxer Muhammad Ali once said that service to others is the rent that you pay for your room on earth. Again, service to others is the rent that you pay for your room here on earth. And those are important words to go by. All right, so how can you? Me too. I'm not dead yet. How can we do what's never been done? So navigating the world and finding things that activate your uniqueness really isn't an easy process. It's not a program. It's not dance steps. But I do have a few pieces of advice. First, you know, fly just a little by the seat of your pants. I know people say that all the time. Fly by the seat of your pants. But yeah, it's important to fly by the seat of your pants. And one of the things that sort of kept me going was a lack of foresight. And I am exactly where I am today, partly because it seemed rather old-fashioned and square to be too strategic about getting from here to there. Now, it's not saying that I'm not calculating about planning and what I want out of life, but sometimes you just got to fly by the seat of your pants. So you can have goals and you can have dreams, and you should, but you know, you should also make sure that you keep the path flexible on your way to the destination. So in other words, when I was your age, I just thought I was going to be a drummer and nothing else. Like, I didn't want to write books. I didn't want to become a food advocate. I didn't want to direct, you know. I just thought, no, I want to be just a master of one thing and not a jack of all trades. No, you should be flexible on the path to your destination. Secondly, walking that path is just as much about stopping along that way. So in life, you're going to encounter a million moments where you don't know what to do. You know, you probably don't know what you're going to do tomorrow. It's like you got your degree, your receipt, and you won't know what to do. And when you feel unsure or overloaded, when that happens, I suggest you lay back, lay out, take a minute to let your mind relax. I know your parents are probably rolling their eyes right now. Like, what are you saying, Questlove? We want them to go out and get a job immediately. But no, I actually encourage boredom so that thoughts can come and ideas can come. And I call these moments micro meditations. They give your brain a minute to go and find the right solution in your soul. The time for us is now. The time for us is now. The time for us is now. So I just want to congratulate you guys on your graduation. And I want you to go out forth into the world. And it's kind of hard to choose background music and talk at the same time. I want you guys to go out into the world and just let your spirit fly. And you know, when you hit that altitude, you'll see the lay of the land and you'll figure out what took me 5 decades to learn. And I look forward to seeing the world that you guys make. Please remake the world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations.
Questlove, thank you. That was amazing. And now let's hear from our school directors, Gordon Stables and Hector Amaya.
I am Hector Amaya, Director of the School of Communication, and I wanted to congratulate you on your graduation and convey to you how meaningful it is that you're here at this moment. It is only your perseverance and right attitude that has allowed you to achieve this difficult goal in this very difficult time. You are the generation that went through these challenges and who have to adapt and push harder in order to graduate. Your graduation is a testament to your own self, but it's also a testament to the wisdom and power of your community, your peers, your friends, and to the strength and love of your family. And let's not forget to the commitment of your professors. Your professors have enriched your lives in countless ways here at Annenberg, and we know they will continue to be your lifelong mentors. So let's take a moment to recognize them with this special tribute.
can run, 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 you can fly away, you can go.
Congratulations, graduates. As the director of the School of Journalism, I join my faculty colleagues in recognizing your accomplishment. We're all familiar with the notion that journalists often provide the first draft of history because they observe and report on the world around them. But each of you has that role to play in chronicling this moment, your moment, and determining that first draft of your memories. As you mark this transition between your time studying with us and your next grand adventure, we encourage each of you to remember what you've learned during your time with us. What today might seem as indelible and permanent, especially over these last few months, may fade over time, but hold to the essential truths that always guide you. We encourage each of you to be the ethical, respectful, and truth-telling reporters, storytellers, critics, and chroniclers of your communities to help bring about a brighter future. And it's in that spirit that it's my tremendous honor to introduce someone who has held these values throughout her life and helped to ensure that they're present in what we are so proud to know as the Annenberg School. Wallis Annenberg is the chair, president, and CEO of the Annenberg Foundation, known as a visionary who strives to improve the well-being of communities throughout the world. Within USC and the Annenberg School, we know her as your champion, a lifelong advocate for the essential role journalism plays in bolstering our society and strengthening our democracy. During this past year, we've all spent less time than we would have liked in this building that proudly bears her name, but I assure you, her inspiration continues to guide and motivate us all. Graduates, families, and friends, please join me in welcoming the longest-serving trustee at the University of Southern California, Wallis Annenberg.
Thank you, Gordon. Rahm Emanuel, the former mayor of Chicago, once said, "You never let a serious crisis go to waste, because it is an opportunity to do what seemed impossible before, to be better, to be smarter, to leave old assumptions behind, and reach out for what is breathtaking and new." I know this pandemic, this global crisis, isn't how you imagined you'd inherit the world. But it's also your opportunity, and you'd better believe we're counting on you as journalists and communicators, as doers and thinkers, as extraordinary young women and men who are ready to leave the past behind and to take us into the future boldly, audaciously. I am so proud of what you have achieved, and I can't wait to see how you meet this moment. Congratulations to you and your families. Thanks to you, I know in my heart that the best is yet to come.
Wallis, we couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. Gayle, before we go, I know you have some very special news to share.
I know, Willow. I like to think of it as breaking news, ding, 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 ding. I always like that. And this is good. So I am thrilled to announce the creation of the Viacom CBS HBCU Diversity in Journalism Scholarship. What is that, you ask? I'll tell you. It will cover yearly tuition costs for HBCU graduates to enroll in one of USC's Annenberg's Journalism's Master's Program. Wow, wow, wow. I'll go first. Thank you. Now, what's so remarkable and special about this new scholarship is that it demonstrates Viacom, CBS, and USC Annenberg's commitment to elevating, and I like this, Black excellence, that could be a song, thank you, Beyonce, in journalism, as well as a tremendous investment in supporting the diverse representation that we all want in the industry and that actually we all want in the world. I'm psyched about this, Willow. This is really a great, great, great news.
Gayle, thank you so much. And of course, thank you to Viacom CBS. We're just thrilled to be advancing a robust pipeline for Black journalists, not just to enter, but to lead our newsrooms and to really accelerate Black journalists' pathways to success here. So thank you.
Yes, yes, we are very proud to be a part of the team. And I say this to the graduates as you start your next chapter, give yourselves a round of applause. I salute you.
Everyone, let's send our grads on their way with one final congratulations and goodbye.
Congratulations to you all.
Many, many congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations, graduates, and fight on.
Here's to your next chapter.
Congratulations to USC Annenberg's class of 2021.
Congratulations. And now Questlove is going to help us as we share the names of our class of 2021.